perhaps.
No. No. We'll be bolting everything down before it blows away.
It feels like it's going to. My bin lid's flapping outside, it's that windy. Hello and welcome to the Flory Model Live Show. Here we are with you live at 3 o'clock on the 17th of October. It's
Already.
a bit breezy here.
But I say bolt everything down. Is it bin day, by the way? Is it your bin day?
No, because our bin day officially is Friday, but they come when they like. We just leave them out the front these days. They are that bad.
No.
So normally when we get strong winds like this, it's recycling night. And you can hear them just barreling down the street.
Yeah, that's exactly what I was about to say. Every time we get high winds, it's luckily for us, it's not picked up here yet. It's starting, but it's not too bad. But it's black bin, which is just our general waste. It's a bit heavier with the bin bags in, so hopefully they won't be strewn all over the street like usual.
But plastic everywhere.
God, yeah, a bit of plastic in the old place. At least we've got kind of a blue bin here. Already on the off topic, aren't we? But in the old house, we had like these green tubs with lids on.
Yeah.
Well, they were just useless. Absolutely just all over the place. Like I say, and we were in a little cul-de-sac, weren't we?
Yes.
So we were down the bottom. So yeah, we used to.
You had everyone's rubbish.
Everybody's bottles and paper and bits of cardboard. Yeah.
There you go. Robert said he was chasing his recycling down the road at midnight last night.
Oh, so, yes. Well done. It's not great, is it? Yeah, we do what storms this or whatever we're getting.
It's got a funny name, this one. I think the Spanish or the Portuguese have named it, haven't they? I can't remember what it's called.
But it looks a bit wet and windy anyway for the next few days.
Yeah, well, I was looking at my phone and it says it's just going to rain forever, apparently.
which is novel for you.
It is, yes.
Isn't it?
It's been very nice recently. I can't complain.
Yeah.
So, but yeah, what a difference a week makes. We were saying last Monday, we were literally sat on the beach.
Yeah.
on Sunday and that, and it was like this week, freezing. In fact, we had a proper hard frost here.
Did you?
Day before yesterday. Yeah, not last night. Last night's wasn't, but it was cold. It was about 7 degrees in the morning, but it was down to 3. So
we've got down
a proper
to
wake up call.
5, I think. It's just been damp. You know, when your car's all just damp and horrible in the morning when you're thinking. But yes,
it's heated seat season. Get in heating seats.
Well, this is modelling season, as we've been saying. Now, I said I did a vlog earlier, and I was saying now the nights are drawing in. Winter's coming. It is down to modelling season again. I think it is. Yeah. Get the doors. Get the heating on.
That's it.
Shut the curtains early. Get in your rooms.
That's it. Seal the room. Close all your windows. Get rid of all that horrible fresh air. That's it. Don't let a penny out the window with any heat.
No.
So, but no, I must admit, we were saying, wasn't it, is that traditionally there was always a summer lull. And you get to October and it goes up again. If you look at our stats on the forum, it literally, you get to May and it drops off and it just peters along the bottom and then pops right up again. And it's funny because we never had it through COVID. COVID, it went the other way. It literally just carried on growing. It's great. And now we're back to traditional times again now. And we did say if it wasn't for Airfix's release of the summer, it would have been a complete washout for modelling.
Well, you know what? We were just talking about this, and perhaps somebody could jog our memories, because obviously 1 week goes into another week and a month into a month, and then you forget that kind of what you've done. But we were saying, I think, from the Airfix Sea King, what other significant releases have there been over the? Because I really can't. There might have been one I've just forgotten, because we've had lots of pre-orders in and stuff that's come and gone. I can't think of any significant releases that stuck in my head.
Yeah, I think what it was, we've had releases, but we knew they were coming. We haven't had anything sort of new and exciting and come along. We only had the actual Sea King. The rest of it, we knew it was coming down the pipe, and some of it, we've been waiting a long time. Let's face it, like the Armour Hobbies Hurricane. Yeah. We know that dropped in the summer, but we were waiting for that. The big Marauder, wasn't it? Yeah. We were waiting for that to come down the line, so we knew it was coming in. But yeah, we haven't had anything exciting. And again, here we are. You said before we came on, back end of October really now, and we've not had anything else coming out either. So it's really quiet.
We've had the big lightnings in, but that's a re-release. I'm talking about new stuff, not sort of re-releases. But the usual suspects are very, very quiet, I think. It's even like Edward or they're releasing stuff, but it's just reboxings or different versions of stuff that's out. There's no, everybody's very safe, which I can understand with the environment and obviously, what the world as it is and all that. But for modelers, it's a bit, and for us in general as well, it's like you said, that review there of your bits you've done was the first one since the dinosaur about 2 months ago or whenever it was.
Literally. The last time I did a review was the T-Rex before that one. Yeah.
Yeah. Again, there's nothing that's been kind of worth sending you to review. It sounds like.
There you go. 6th of September, I did the dinosaur.
Well, there you go.
And here we are. 16th of October, that one up. That's terrible, really.
So we're just again just mentioning how it's gone quiet on the ICM B26. Obviously, they're still releasing stuff. But again, it's nothing new. It's just different versions of obviously previous kits, isn't it?
Yeah.
I'm not sure what is it. Fourth quarter that though. I think it's due for release, isn't it? So hopefully, like I say, we will get the pre-order up for that because I think it's going to be a popular kit. To be honest, like I say, it's a first new tooled 48th Marauder in 40 years, probably 40 odd years. I think it's the old Eskyurtle one, and then obviously the monogram one, which was a nice kit to be honest. But before that, so I see there's another version of the A20 coming out, isn't there? The glass nose one. And then a 35th nice. Zero from Border to go with the Spitfire and the whatever else. So they're sticking with it. Well, again,
we were saying about that
tomorrow. We'll talk about this on the PM show. So,
good job. Just a couple there. Richard says, Phil, I'm going to be converting my 24 scale JU87 from a B to a C. Any suggestions on how to do the wing fold? Has it got a wing fold on that one? Is it?
A wing fold on an 87?
I never realised it had it either. I just admit I thought they were rigid.
I thought they were rigid corrugated wings. I didn't think they had a wing fold.
I didn't realise they had a wing fold. So I don't know. I honestly, Richard, well, cutting it off wise, it'll be references and just following probably if it's got a panel line on it normally.
Just a bit of thingy with this. I'd be very careful with a Stuka because when they get to later models, the fuselage is longer. There's a lot of changes. I know obviously they changed canopies and stuff like that, on the later ones. But trumpeters fell into this with their 32nd and 24th ones. The dimensions are really out because they've used the B, which is a bit shorter. And actually, when you get into later different versions, the wings are longer, I think. Yeah. Is one of them. And more, I have to tell you who probably more of a aficionado is John.
John's been doing a lot of research.
But I have seen it. If you go on probably large scale planes or something, somebody's put plans up, and it's
Well,
quite
Richard's saying it.
Or it's too long.
He's saying that the JU87C was for the Zeppelin aircraft carrier. That didn't really work, did it?
That never happened, did it?
Okay. The BC was 5 centimetres shorter on the wings. 5 centimetres, is that it? I thought you meant like a proper. But I must admit, I didn't even know they did a wing fold one. That's got to be quite some stresses and strains, isn't it, for a dive bomber to have a wing fold on it? I'm always amazed the Helldiver did it and stuff. Yeah,
that's like I say, that never really happened, is it? So, so yes.
Interesting.
Yeah, there's definitely just things to watch out for with Stukas. I think there's a lot of variations on them, isn't there? So, but good luck with that. It'll be interesting to see wing folded Stuka.
The other one, I'll just call you LP because I can't pronounce the rest of it. It says, thanks for your AK Satin Varnish dilution info. Yes, you messaged me the other day. I will say on that, one quick thing, because I did do some today from 4 days ago, is that, like I say, obviously my priority, just being honest, goes to the membership. So anything that comes through the members' way, i.e. the forum, gets dealt with pretty much instantly. All right. And then I tend to fall into the trap of questions running in different ways. So next up, if you like, the important ones is anyone who goes through the contact me on the main site. So if you go to the Flory Models contact me, I tend to answer that one within a couple of hours, if not straight away as well. The ones which then come along through all the other places, like Pro Modeler, because Pro Modeler's linked to YouTube, they tend to go down the pile, and it's when and as I can get to them. If I've got a bit of time, and to be honest, I did yesterday, I was waiting for something to render, which didn't, there's a story to this, but anyway, it was literally, I was sat there, and as I'm waiting for this bloody video to render, I thought, oh, I'll do a load of emails. So I sat there for like half hour doing a load of emails and things to you. But I know some of you, sometimes, obviously, you resend, but I do have priorities. Obviously, the membership, you've got to appreciate, gets first dibs because they're paying. And then everybody else comes down the line. But don't try and contact me via Facebook or any of the sort of social media ones, because I don't really use it. I go on it, but it's usually just for the chat areas and stuff like that with the family and all the bits like that. So I'm not really on it, because somebody tried to message me about stuff the other day, and it's like it's been like from 3 weeks ago, but I only just seen it because I don't go in it. So, you know, that's the thing to it. So if you do want answers to questions, more than happy to do it if I've got the time, clearly. But if you can use the contact me one on the Flory Models site, it's probably your best bet, because that gets looked at. Members, just hit me up on the messenger system on the actual forum, and that'll be instantly, because that just, well, it appears as we sit here as well. So
Facebook,
that's not
a hive of scum and villainy.
Yeah, that's Twitter, isn't it?
I don't know, I'm on any of them anymore.
I think Twitter's the worst when it comes to that type of thing. It's like, Twitter's just one of those ones where you see somebody put up a comment and you just sit back and just watch. Because people just fly.
Now, into X,
X as it is now, yeah. X now. But yeah, so when X is, literally, it is, and you just watch people lose their mind, and literally they just explode. You can see people literally going, ah! And it's like, really? I don't get it, but there you go.
I don't either. So that's, the old, I'm glad I'm old. You know. I'm not, to be honest with you though, the only thing I miss about Facebook, right, and it's definitely not the chuffing adverts, because that's the reason I came off of it, but obviously I don't really get now to see, because obviously SMC's just gone, hasn't it?
Yes.
Scale Model Challenge at Eindhoven, and I've not seen no pictures from it at all, nothing.
Yeah.
I don't think I've seen many from Mossen either earlier on, and normally if you're, Facebook and all like groups and stuff, they tend to get posted up there like within 10 minutes of somebody getting in the door, don't they? Let's be honest. Because they keep, I've got to get it up on social media, be the first and all that. But I've not seen anything, so I don't know what the quality's like, or if it's good, bad, or indifferent. I might have to actually have a look. I'm on Instagram, but I've not seen nothing come on Instagram either. So perhaps I should actually search for SMC23 and.
Yeah, I must admit, I've seen quite a lot. It did look really good. It looked very well supported. Obviously, I spoke to Kareen about it.
Yeah.
Who's now got COVID.
Yeah.
So what'd you get from SMC?
Hey,
COVID.
We've got that to come in a few weeks again.
Well, this is it, yes.
Can't wait.
And for people who don't realise, I had a lovely honeymoon because my other half caught COVID as well. My wife, as she is now, the wife. Yeah, not Matt.
To do with me.
This is the fairest sex partner. But she got COVID. So that was coming home in the car. And I didn't catch it. I'm fine, healthy me. I'm Mr. Super Immune.
You are the
I'm probably the one who just carries it and passes it around, but I'm all right. So I'll be good because I'm hoovering all that nice stale air in at Telford in a couple of weeks.
I'll tell you, I've got my mask. I'll get a new filter mask.
Get a new respirator.
Big hood air. I'm gonna look something on the post-apocalyptic world, but I couldn't.
I'm gonna wear my stormtrooper helmet. Just put that on with a radio.
We have an oxygen bottle strapped to my back.
Yes, definitely.
Yeah,
but
fun.
All it is. Right. Okay. Question, Phil. Have you ever built the Trumpeter 132nd MiG-23? Is it the best in scale? Yes, because it's the only one in scale.
It's the only one.
It's your only option. I think it's got some issues because the 48th one has as well. So again, it's one of those ones. Somebody actually called me a rivet counter the other day.
Hey,
I was offended. That was on social media. They actually called me a rivet counter, and I'm thinking, clearly you have no idea and never watched or heard anything I've ever said, because like I give us stuff. But no, anyway, like I said with the Lightnings, you take it with a pinch of salt. You're into a big scale, and literally you think, I tell you what, I'm just going to go with it. If you wanted to change it and detail it and do all those bits, knock yourself out. Same goes with the MiG-23. It's got everything you want, and it looks like a MiG-23 to me. But I'm sure the rivet counters out there will love that kit and pull it apart. Speaking of which, brilliant segue to this, because I've done the review of this. It'll be up with you probably maybe Thursday, because I've done the other one already. I did the review of this morning. So I say I never do clickbait. So this is a social experiment, right? Okay. I'm actually going to put up as the title for this. Won't just be my usual bland, don't do clickbait. I'm actually going to put up, is it what the fuck was Trumpeter thinking? So that's going to be my clickbait one, just to see if I get more views on that than I normally get. Okay. So, because needless to say, I'm not massively impressed with that kit. But, like I do say into it, at the end of the day, you've got no other options. That's the only B out there. Unless Italeri come along and do which I can't imagine them doing, a B and a C. 30-second wise, the only option you've got really is to go down that route. And I don't think we're going to see the Panda one, which I think the Panda one's more based on the prototypes anyway, because it's pretty old now. This is one of those kits where you're like, really? They've riveted it, for Christ's sake.
Composite. Plane.
Everybody knows that it's a composite aircraft. Literally, it's been like that since a prototype. It's not like it was an old metal thing they put together, then they did it properly later. So in the last 10 years, it's been bloody composite. But oh no, riveted it is. So it's got some nice panel lines, some nice rivets all over it. And you're like, really?
You think it's a standard joke now with Trump to rivet it? Because obviously over the years, the phantom riveter, as we used to say back in the early 2000s or whatever. I wonder if it's like, well, it's kind of our trademark now. We'll just rivet everything.
Yeah, we just rivet. It makes things look more interesting. Yeah.
So you're going to have a lot of filling and sanding to do.
Yeah. To be honest, the thing that annoys me with that one is that if it had been 5 years ago when they released that, like the early days of it, the ram tape was quite, prominent and all the rest of it. But as we all know now, ram tape really isn't a thing either, because you can hardly see it these days. So, and that kit is tooled last year because it's the new version. And that one there has got the new fuselage as well. So it's not like you can say, oh, it's just the A kit. It's not. It's a completely new fuselage, the way that they've done it. So consequently, last year they made that up and did it all. So they could have actually thought, I tell you what, we won't put any rivets on it and we won't make the ram tape literally like a doorstep everywhere. We'll smooth it out of it and make it better. But oh no, they've just gone with it. So I do wonder sometimes, I know China's in a little bit of a social bubble and they do have trouble with the internet, but Christ, everyone can find a photo of an F-35 and know it's not like that. And do you know what bugs me the most about that entire kit?
One.
They spent all the time and money and all the effort riveting it, but they didn't put an access door into it. So it's got no ladder, boarding ladder or anything. And you think it's a naval aircraft. They all have those, but they didn't bother putting that on.
So you're not recommending this kit, are you?
So I'm not selling it very well, am I? No. So good job we haven't got a pre-order for it.
Good job we're not selling it. Unless you're really desperate, we'll get you one, but yes.
But it's one of those kits like, seriously, Trumpeter, what are you thinking? Are you literally in some parallel universe? Which I know a lot of people would claim that, well, it's in China, they probably are. But, I just don't know. Here we are in 2023 and some of the basic things like it, they just completely just whitewash it. So
it's a weird one, isn't it, really? It's not like they ain't got access to other people's kits, is it, to copy, shall we say?
And I'm not being funny, even if you go back now and look at some of the more older kits that are even out there, they're far better than that one. The only thing I will say, in its plus, because you know me, I always like a plus with every kit, I have to keep it balanced. I'm like the BBC.
Oh, God.
Got new plastic.
Has it?
It's hard plastic. It's the clinky stuff. Clinky, not chinky. Clinky stuff. But it's hard, rock hard. I mean, proper, you drop it, sounds like you dropped a plate. Before, it used to be quite soft and very supple. Not anymore.
I'll have to have a look at that Devastator. Because that's new. That's like a new release, isn't it? I wonder if that's in the same sort of styrene. We'll have a look at that tomorrow when we're doing the show.
Okay, we'll have that on the PM show, yeah.
Yeah, I'll have a look at that. So that's interesting, isn't it? Wonder if they've changed styrene.
It is definitely a weird one. But I must admit, the other thing that's really weird, it's got rubber with tyres, but they're not rubber and there's no weight to them. But they're rubber-esque. It's obviously a new material, but I can't work out what it is. It's a type of rubber, but it's as light as a feather.
Composite.
It's a composite tyre.
So at least they've got some composite somewhere,
right? Yeah, that's it. Apparently Michelin make the tyres. It's written right across them. So I was like, are they? I have to check. Are they actually? Have we got any F-35 crew people here? I need to know if you actually have they got Michelin tyres, because they think
Michelin
you have.
Right, or have they done
it is spelt correctly as well. Yeah, normally it's like Michel tyres.
Yeah, Michel tyres, something, isn't it? Yeah.
But no,
Continentals were the best, weren't they?
Yeah, Continental.
Continental, yeah, with a U instead of an L, so you just used to have to scrape the bit of the U off to get an L.
That's it.
Yeah. Interesting.
So, but yes, it was one of those things where it was like doing the review. I had high hopes for it, but yeah, it was like, really? Why? Hello. But new plastic and the clear part, considering it's a really complex shape, that canopy is absolutely crystal clear. That's on a proper good level of crystal clear. But then their clear part's always been pretty good.
Yeah, the clear parts have never been that bad, have they, to be fair to them? So it's a shame, innit? But there you go. I suppose if it's the only one, you've got to work with it, haven't you? Are we modelers or Lego builders, is it?
Well, this is it, yes. Yes.
But yeah, when it's glaring sort of needless errors, you know, that's when it gets annoying, isn't it? I think
that's what annoys when I do reviews sometimes, and a lot of people say, oh, you never mentioned this, you never did that, and it's like, does it need to be mentioned? If you're a bit counter, clearly, but yeah, I don't care. It's like 0.5 millimeter too short or something else like that. And it's like, it's just one of those ones where you've got this glaring thing of like riveting on a composite aircraft, and you're like, how the hell did anybody during the entire design process not spot that? And I'm not being funny, even in China, they've got 5th generation aircraft, which are composite ones as well. So it's not like they don't know, you know, but yes.
Do you think we'll go back to doing vintage model kit reviews instead? Something a bit more...
I've got one coming.
Yeah, I don't know. I was thinking about it earlier, you know.
Well, I am going to do the Phantom, so we can have a look at the Hasegawa Phantom this week. I'll do the review of that this week, because that's a classic, good kit. And again, because of its age, you can sort of forgive its slight mistakes and its little things, and you think, do you know what? Really nice.
You know, like our old, like, vintage classics and stuff. I don't know if it's like, we'll put it to the audience to see if it's something...
What would you prefer to see? Older kits reviews or brand new stuff?
Because everybody does the new stuff. I think it'd be just a bit more of a different point of view from the older kits, because let's be honest, we were never fans of them until not that long ago. We were like, oh, there's better stuff out there, and there is, isn't there? But sometimes a bit of a nostalgic look at some things, you know, battered boxes and... you know, faded decals and all that, but actually, you know, just generally looking at the overall kit, I think yes. You know, I don't know, I've put it out there, see if anybody's interested in it.
Yes, what would you like to see?
Nostalgic plastic, or where I don't know, some catchy name put up with it.
Right, question there. We've got Lars said he's received his new 48 scale Westland Sea King and he loves it. Another one incoming. Beautiful kit from Airfix. It is really, really nice.
Yep.
I know some people have said about, I will say it because, you know, again, balance here. There has been some short shots with the kit, apparently, I've heard. But apparently Airfix are properly on it and they are getting your replacements out really quick. So if you have got a short shot, just get in contact with them. There's no point bitching and moaning, because by the time you've done that, you can probably have the part.
Yeah,
so
probably.
Go and get the part, you know, because they are aware of it and you will get sorted out. So they're fine with that one.
Yeah, they're normally good with one of the better companies for getting you spares anyway, especially if there's a problem in there. They're really good at that. So, yes,
and especially time, because within a week you've normally got them. It's not like one of these you order it and then 6 months later it turns up.
No.
So Alistair says, would you say that it's better than the Italeri F-35?
Different versions.
Yeah, that's the thing. There is a review up there of the Italeri, and I've done both. But it's different animals. This is the B and C, so it's a little bit. You know, if you're going to do a B, you do the B, and that is the only one. If you're going to do the A, you've got the Italeri one. Is the Italeri one better? I would probably say yes, it is, because it's more. You haven't got to putty it and get rid of riveting and all the rest of it. But again, Italeri's isn't perfect. I moaned at Italeri's one because the ram tape's all over it and all the usual bits and pieces with it as well. So I don't think it's not. It's just that we didn't review the A because the A's already out. But what they've done is they've got. It's a little bit modular, this one. The Italeri one isn't. It is what it is, which is great. But this particular one is because they've got the A version, the B and the C all out the same kit. That's why they've got the wings in a really annoying place with the wing brakes, because obviously the C's got massive wings compared to the A and the B. So again, that's why that's like it. Also, the front end's slightly different as well. So the chin, if you like, area is different on the C. And obviously on the B, and obviously the cockpit area is completely different as well. So they've made it quite modular, which makes for some seams. And one of my comments during the actual review of it is that I hope to God it goes well, because it's a composite aircraft as well. So it's very smooth lines, and you're going to have seam lines that you're going to have to deal with putty and stuff like that, because it's typical trumpeter. They just go together. There's no locking mechanism, nothing to pull it in and to make them seamless. It literally just shoved them in. So if you don't get the line up right, you're going to be in there with a filler and all the bits that go with it. So it's going to be a right pain on that front. So in some ways, I would say if you're after just an F-35A, I would definitely stick with the Italeri one over the trumpeter one. But if you want the B or the C, then that's where you're going to go. So
yeah, you're going to have to work with what you've got.
Yeah, you are. Yeah,
I suppose
definitely.
if you put in anyway, what difference does it make?
Yeah. And to be honest, I did even say that in the review. I said it's really annoying, like the wing seams, because the way they've done it is just proper old school. It's literally like this. Yeah, they just butt together. It's like that. There's no fidelity or niceness. You're just going to go in, but at least they fit. So, but that one I can imagine them being a bit of a handful because they're so big, you know. And again, so I just think that when it goes in, how they go in is going to be the difference between, you know, being a nightmare or not. But right next to it, there's a low of rivets, so you're going to have to putty them anyway. So it'd be a case of, do you know what, just pack it full of glue, let it squeeze out and be a mess, get the filler in and all the rest of it, and just sand it off. Just get in there with a 80 grit bit of sandpaper, hack it all off, and you'll be good to go. Yeah. So, and whilst you're at it, take about a foot off of the round tape.
Well, if you're sanding, you might as well, haven't you?
This is it. You can go right the way over it. It's absolutely fine with it.
Yeah. Yeah. Well.
Hey, yes.
So how's the Helldiver getting on? Let's get to...
Right. So the Helldiver, to be honest, is it's all right, but I've got a few little seams I need to deal with, which I've just noticed.
Can I just put in and drop something in there, if you don't mind?
Yes.
Because that's the perfect segue. If anybody wants one of them, I'm selling one on eBay.
Oh, right.
I've got some stuff. I'm because might as well advertise it. I'm clearing the stash again and getting culling, having a cull. So I've got a load of stuff up that I'm selling, and one of the kits is actually that kit. It's the Revell boxing. Which boxing you got? The Pro Modeler. Mine's the Revell one, but same kit.
Yeah, it's the same kit.
So if anybody does fancy one, because to be honest with you, if I am going to tackle one, and I do like the Helldiver, I'm actually going to have a go at the Infinity one at some point, which is a handful, but it's 32nd, and I really don't fancy the resin HPH one at all. I'd definitely rather play with styrene than resin. So anyway, sorry about that. You could carry on now. No.
Fine, that's all right. I'm about to sneeze anyway, so apologies.
All right, okay.
It's one of those. I'm not going to lose it. I'm going to sneeze. Itchy nose. Right, I'll try and sniff me. That's it. So carrying on really from last, what was it, Thursday night, wasn't it? So obviously we did the seams on the front. We've done the wing roots. We took a little bit of time taking the filler. I have popped in here with a little bit more paint just before we came on because I wanted to seam check it. And so I got a seam at the back I need to deal with. That we need to tidy up. And then also I did notice, might be able to see in here, you see I've got a seam line here.
Oh,
so
yes.
A tiny little one just in there which I need to deal with. All the others are fine because this one's gone and all the rest of it. And to be honest, this one's gone, but it needs a little bit more cleanup to it. And again, I've got another one in here. This in here, I'm pretty sure this is like, is it a short shot or is it really like that? I don't know if it's supposed to be like that. I've got a feeling it may be like that.
I think it's like that. It looks odd.
Yeah, it does look odd. That's what I was wondering. I wasn't sure if it was supposed to be like it or not. So
I would have to check some references, but yeah, it does look a bit odd actually.
Yeah, so but anyway, so this is this one. So what I was doing literally just before we came on air, I've started to mask up the windows because for that Matt kindly got me in the actual mask set for it, which is like, you know,
well, it's a must, isn't it?
It's a must really, especially on something like this. So plan of action is I'm going to get some of these on today, and I want to get the photo etch, which are obviously these guys as well, and we'll get these glued in. I did think about actually having it in said up positions and things, but I don't know. I think it's just going to be one of those. We just want them to lay flat on here. It's going to be powered down on the ground and not doing anything particularly arty. So, but yeah, so we'll get these put on because that way we can get some primer onto it, and then it can be painted all at the same time.
Does the etch fit all right? Looks like it does.
Yes, no, they are. They're perfect.
Is it quite thin etch as well, or is it quite thick?
It is, yeah. No, this is proper nice thin stuff. Right, it's not like the chunky monkey stuff.
Because that was sorry, that was like standard issue with the kit, weren't it?
Yeah, you always used to get a good bit of photo etch, wouldn't it?
Yeah.
If I'm doing this is the bottom one, isn't it?
Yeah, you want bottom one.
Yeah, that's it. So yeah.
That's it. Got to paint it red.
That's it. Do it red, it'd be fine. But yeah, no, they fit really, really nice in here. So that's all right. So we've done that. Obviously, remember last time we did the engine, which engine's looking fine. So we'll pop all that on. So really, once we've got the glasswork, we can pop the glasswork onto it. We'll take care of these seams, which we'll do in a moment with you, and we can get that one done. All right, so that's the plan with that. The Viking really hasn't moved on all that much, apart from I've now put on the proper canopy is on this now. And you might be able to see, I PVA glued, you might see down at the front, little still wet. So because we PVA glued it, and we've used tape just to hold it in and get all the right angles and all the bits and pieces. I am going to have to probably put in a little bit of filler just around the front here. So that's the great thing, we get the PVA glue, making sure it's properly sealed in there, then we'll just come along here with a little bit of filler at the front. But the rest of it feels really, really nice. It feels like a really nice fit. Maybe a little bit of a step in here, but again, we can fill and take care of that and get all of that in. So yeah, that one's looking all right. So coming along. Also on that one at the same time, I've also done the engines. So we've got the engines done. So we've already painted up these inside. So they're white inside, and we've done the blades and the nose. Then we can just put in a little bit of something to blank that off. And obviously the back end, we've done the backs in there. You've got the, if you can see the silver in there, but they're painted as well, but not really worried about that. So, but yeah, so the engines are done, they're done. So eventually, hopefully, these little suckers will come in here and we'll have a proper looking Hoover. But what I'll probably do, to be honest, just to make it easier, is that we'll paint everything and then we'll put all of these on afterwards, purely because trying to get in that gap with an engine on is going to be a pain to paint it. So again, we'll do that one all completely separate, but you can catch up with me doing with that one as we make our way through on there. And again, been really busy this week. Just to show you is over on the reviews. We obviously yesterday we did the one on the Corsair Magic Factory. So we've got the one down in there, which actually is a really, really nice looking kit. You get 2 wings on it, whole wings. So you've got in one piece like here, and then you get them in 2 pieces like here. So you've actually got it. So you do get the option. You can't, like, you know, take the wings off and have one folded, one not. But these have got solid wing spars all the way through. So you've got both options. So technically you can build it. And it's got really nice details on this one. You've got a nice gun. You've got a nice cockpit. Comes with mast sets. And obviously in here, don't forget, it's a 2-in-1. And I think we were saying it's about 60 quid the retail on this. But actually it's only 30 quid a kit, because you do get 2 of them. So as you can see, full die cut mast sets, photo etch, all the bits down into it. So yeah, no, it is actually, it's a really nice kit. It's definitely a step up from the Tamiya one. It's not a massive leap, but it's definitely a step up.
So hopefully we'll be seeing how soon, because it should be on the way. So obviously Phil Bot sent that direct, didn't you, for a review?
Yeah, so just, yeah, for total clarity, Magic Factory sent me these. So yeah. As you'll see in the review, I've got some review samples because they weren't in bagged or anything, so it's a bit rattly around the thing. So we got that one up, and then the other one we've got in, which will be up with you by the time you probably about half hour after we finish, will be this one. It's up on the site now, but it's not over all the other areas. But again, this is the MRAS D4. These look like a load of fun.
Yes, nice kit. Exactly the same.
I tell you what, it's like quad biking on another level, isn't it?
Yeah, it's like a dune buggy, isn't it?
Yeah, that's it. So one thing I will ask, does anybody know, is it a Polaris? Because it looks like a Polaris to me on steroids. So, but apparently they've got a 3-cylinder turbo diesel engine in these things.
Yeah.
So yeah, they're very nice. So in this particular one, it's a dual combo as well. So you get this one here with the trailer and all the weaponry and all the support gear and all the rest of it. And then you've got this one over here, which you can do as an anti-drone unit. So it's got the radars and the zapper. So you've got that as well. So if you want to, you know, do a bit of a homage to them, you could just do 2 the same, or you could do it literally 1 of each type of these. The one thing you don't get is a crew, but as we found out this morning after I'd done the review, you can buy the crew 4 figures for 35 quid. Seems a bit steep, but not as steep as the weapon set that actually comes in this kit, which they're doing separately as well, which is something like 30 quid. So, but anyway, it's a really nice, very much in detail. It's got fully independent suspension. You even get, look, you get the little springs for it and the trailer. It's all got working suspension. And generally it is, oh, keep doing that, I don't know why I'm doing that. But yeah, generally it's really nice. You get photo etch, same thing. Very nice indeed. And all the various parts on that. It is a lot of plastic in the kit, but the detail is actually very, very nice. So you've got everything. You've got full engine detail, full transmission. You've got all the, obviously, the running gear underneath it, all the suspension and the steering and absolutely everything. So you have got a full-on kit at the end of the day. And again, you do get all the weapons as well and all the other bits. So it's actually not bad. Not bad at all.
It's a bit different, isn't it?
Yeah, so for a diorama, a little direct, things like that, it'd be mega.
Yeah.
And apparently they're designed so they do fit in the back of an Osprey and a CH-53.
There you
So
go.
you can just drop them and go.
What, a 135th CH-53 or an Osprey too.
That's it to go from. You can have it coming out the back.
Yeah, definitely what you need.
So, and apparently they're under testing at the moment, or just got in with the Royal Marines, so that we've got them as well. So no more marching and yomping and all the rest of it. It'll be just a case of right.
Jump in your buggy.
Jump in your buggy and off you go. So yes,
they've got pods and stuff, haven't they?
Yeah. I think this is really what they're doing. It's just sort of an upgrade from the quads now. You know, so they've got something a bit more meaty.
Yes.
So yes, good job.
Because it was Obby Boss. Sorry, you talked to the big camera.
Right.
Change the camera back. Obby Boss did that Delta Force sort of buggy, didn't they?
Yeah.
A few years ago. So yeah, interesting.
It is.
Interesting bit of kit.
It's a nice. To be honest, like obviously Magic Factory sort of come out of nowhere. And obviously the first one I've seen, and again they sent me it, was Iron Dome, and that's a really nice kit, considering it's their first one and all the rest of it. And we were worrying about, I wonder if they're going to do aircraft, and that's a really nice one as well. So, I know it's all a little bit of a funny path we weave over in China with model manufacturing and tooling and stuff, but they are their own company. So, and I had talks with them in the early days of doing this, doing reviews and stuff, is that, I asked them the usual questions like, are you tied in with anyone else? Are you a subsidiary of, certain other companies? And they were like, no, we are a standalone company. Obviously, they do use, as they were just being honest, there's only so many injection molding manufacturers that do this stuff. So they do use the same as other companies. And the tooling as well is done by, say, other companies. But they are their own company in their own right as well. So it is their own design and various bits and pieces. So, very nice. Yeah. Very cool. Right, what have you been up to?
Well, not a massive amount, if I'm honest. That's it. I did a vlog earlier.
Yes.
So, which is first one I've done in I don't know how long, to be honest. It took me a while to get going, if I'm honest.
Yeah.
There's a few cock-ups. Anyway, the little Oyster. So you can keep this on camera because it's tiny. So obviously it's very basic because it's from 1958 or something we've worked out, isn't it? So I put the pilot in and gave him a bit of a rough paint job. To say the least, I've just painted the interior black and then just gave it a bit of a dry brush on whatever that box is supposed to be, whether it's a radio unit or whatever, I don't know. What I have had to do, because this has got new tool clear parts, so they do fit very well, but I had a bit of a gap at the back here.
Right.
But it was kind of on an angle.
Mm-hmm.
Now you could fill it very easy, but what I've done is just shoved a bit of plastic card in it and trimmed it.
Shim it, yeah.
Just shim it for what it is, a bit of thin plastic card, and then just got the file and just filed it to a bit to shape. So there's a little bit, I don't know if you can see it on camera, but there is a little bit of a gap at the front, but again, I'll just whack a bit of filler in that. That won't take much to do. Probably a bit of Vallejo putty, and then just clean it all back out. Just tidy that. But yeah, actually, at least it's quite clear. Which really is a bad thing because there's just nothing inside. So if you want to do a bit of scratch building, you've got a free run here because there's just nothing. Look, there's no instrument panel, no,
nothing at all.
No control stick, no seats. There's nothing. So you could really, go to town. But I don't think you're going to see a lot because once the top wing's on, do you know what I mean?
Yeah.
But yeah, that just slots in. They've got some nice slots. I don't remember the original kit, if I'm honest.
Oh, right.
So I presume this is a similar design anyway, but you obviously got slots and just put your wings on as you need to be, whichever way they go. And the fit's all right, actually. It's not too bad. It's quite a tight fit, he says. Now they won't go back in. There you go. So it should be all right. It's upside down anyway, but you know what I'm saying. So anyway, I'm going to do a bit of seam filling because I've got, as you can see where the black is, the black line is all, wants a bit of filler in it, so I'm going to use a bit of super glue for that. So, not just, when we were last on, last Thursday, was it?
Yeah.
To be honest, I've had a binge watching TV this weekend. I ain't done anything. I haven't really been in here, to be honest. The other thing is, obviously, I started on that, didn't I? So, the base for the gyrocopter.
Yes.
So I'm going to be stuck with that. So I might be doing a bit on this as well. I managed to get myself some, well, it looks like a brownie, doesn't it? I tell you what, my stuff had gone off. My paste, my AK dark mud. I've managed to just put a bit of water in it and why it's cracked, because this stuff never cracks. You know, and it's new and it's durable or whatever. But I had to water mine down because it was starting to go off. To be fair, it's a good 2 years old now. And obviously it's an air dry product, so hence why it's cracked a bit. Don't take that as how it is, because it's not normally. It's just I didn't have a lot else, because I gave you my smart mud, didn't I? I left it with you.
Yeah.
So I didn't have any smart mud, and I ain't got much else here, to be honest. So, but that's going to be covered up anyway. I've got my selection of soils, what's been in the oven. So that's going to be obviously to fill all the cracks in there, and I'm going to give this a sprinkle a static grass, drill a hole, put the tree in, get some primer on it, and get it painted. I've also got a bit of another little pot of goodies. This is a bit like litter, you know what I mean, leaf litter and bits of twigs and whatever else. So that's going to be chucked about over on the slabs. So I think between that and the oyster, I think that might be doing today. A bit of each. I've also got to slab it as well at some point. So yeah.
So it didn't stick to your book then?
Hey?
Didn't stick to the book then?
What book?
Do you remember that on Thursday you had a book on top
Oh,
of
no,
it?
no, it didn't stick. No, I got away with it. Yeah. But like I say, you really should have put a bit of clean film on it or a bit of foil or something to stop it sticking. But we don't think
Normally a
like
sheet of cling film just stops things like that happening if you are.
To be fair, it's only white glue anyway, so it would have just peeled off. But now I got away with it, so it's all where it should be. I say for anybody who's not seen Thursday's show, this is just cork board, 3 mil I think, 2 or 3 mil cork board cut into slabs and then decorated with an acrylic paste just to give it some texture. So I've got some leftovers here, so some offcuts if I need them. So yeah, and that is about it, to be honest. I haven't done much. Really been in here, so.
No, that's it. Busy. Okay. David says, is the Hobby Boss 148 scale Skyhawk a better kit than the older offering from Hasegawa?
No.
I would stick with the Hasegawa one.
If you can get the Hasegawa one, get the Hasegawa one.
You can get it. As I say, Magic Factory apparently are bringing one out.
That'll be interesting to see.
Be interesting to see. But yeah, they're bringing one out, so you can have a look at that one. AK Next Gen Acrylics. Can you use other brands of thinner, or do you have to use Next Gen?
To be honest, the Next Gen thinner is what it's designed for.
Yeah.
But you can get away with X20A and Aqueous.
Yeah.
The Aqueous thinner. Because it's like an alcohol-based.
Yes.
Thing. They do work, but to be honest with you, the AK thinner. We've actually got some more. We've sold out, obviously, very quick. But I've got another AK order coming. Hopefully by the end of the week or early next week, and there's some more on that. So we'll be having a restock. Like I say, pretty soon of the thinners, because it's very popular. It's a good product.
Incredibly popular, yeah.
It is a good product. So.
Yes.
Yeah.
Right. Okay. Can you show how to do shimming for beginners? Right. I can show you on the screen.
God.
So when I was doing the Harrier, if I go back a picture, hold on. If I go over here, I had a few problems with it. Mainly that. So we had, forget all the shape issues and all the rest of it we took care of, but we had a gap here. So yes, you could have come along with filler and just put filler in there and just build it up and all the rest of it. But the trouble is, obviously, if you're going to go in a gap that deep and wide, you're going to have to wait for it to dry and all the rest of it that goes with it. So on this particular event, what I did was I decided to shim it. So this is as simple as getting some styrene sheet. So if you buy they do like a multi-pack of it and it's different thicknesses. They're all like A5 bits of paper size, and then you get one, and they go, I think, from 0.5 mil right down to almost like paper. All right, so I just found the one that was the right thickness, and I think this is like quarter or like 0.25 of a mil thickness. And all you do is cut it into, normally I do it in V's, little V shapes. But because this is a big one, you could put in quite a large lump into it. The whole point of doing V's is so you can like point it, get the corners down into it, and you can go in as far as you need right the way through. Once it's sat in there like that and just wedged in, then all you do is come along with a little bit of extra thin, or any other glue really, and just run it down each side. So then what happens is it will weld this in place. So it obviously becomes structural to this part here and the part behind it as well. So that just goes in like that. You let it dry. So we did some other filler work. And then literally all I did was come along with a knife and just run a knife across it. And then once that's done, we just sanded it off. And this is all you can see here. So we just came in and literally started sanding it. So it's just a case of using, you know, a really coarse, you know, 100 grit sand sin stick, and then just work through them quite, you know, gently. Obviously all of this we got rid of because we sanded all this off. But yeah, so technically you just keep going in until, there we go, you can see it's completely gone. If anything, the areas where I didn't do, you can see just down in here, we've got a small sink mark still, but the areas that were shimmed, have got nothing whatsoever. And that's a great way of filling big old areas in just like that. So, but definitely, but shimming is one of those things where, you know, sometimes it works in some areas and other times you think, do you know what, no, I shouldn't do it like that. Another area I used it, actually, if we come out of there, it'll be quicker to run through here. Further on in the build, I used it down underneath. Where is it? We used it underneath. Don't know if I actually took any photos of it. Yes, there it is. So under here, when we put the doors in, we ended up with a gap. So this is another, you know, reason for using it. So what we actually did was we just used plastic card to come down in here. And then once it's in there, as you can see, just pop along with a knife and then just trim it back, and then we just painted it in. So literally just came in with a brush and brush painted it the original colour in there to get rid of it. It's because obviously, you know, these doors are just not big enough. They're not really designed to be closed at the end of the day. So it left with a gap. So we thought, right, we'll just shim that. And obviously there's another bit of plastic card on the other side here as well, which is a bit thinner, and we just cut them and did it. We did the same for the rear doors as well on this one. So again, so shimming is just one of those ones where if you think it's just a bit big on the old Tamiya front of using, like, you know, your putties and your fillers and stuff like that, then sometimes it's better to think, I'm just going to come in, because you haven't got to let it all dry. You're not going to get shrinkage either. So you're not going to have the trouble with it shrinkage. If it's putty and it's deep, obviously the deeper the putty is, the more it's going to shrink, you know, because it's going to contract onto itself. You're going to get the old ghost shadows and things like that. So that's a great way of doing it. So you can just literally get rid of it that way.
Yes.
Scott says, love the Corsair review. You'll be getting one when it comes to Australia. Yes.
You probably should have them by now.
Yeah, you probably get them before us, to be honest.
Yeah.
And Terry as well saying definitely will be purchasing the kit for the Corsair. So yeah, no, it is. It's a lovely little kit. To be honest, like we said before, you know, we often talk about things being really expensive and kits, and you're like, Christ, a lot of money. But 60 quid, but you do get two. So that's it. You can't do two 1As or two 2s. You can't do that. You can only do it each way because you only get one canopy and you only get one cockpit, because obviously the cockpits are different, the canopies are different. There's a couple of other little subtle differences as well with it. So that, but you can definitely do them if you want with the birdcage canopy or the more sort of bubble one, which is weird because the birdcage one is the 2 and the 1A is the bubble. I thought it was the other way round. I thought it had the birdcage first.
I don't know.
I don't know. Perhaps the A denotes it had a different canopy. They moved it forward to being a bubble. But yes.
Yeah, I don't know.
Apparently it's still not available. It's still on pre-order. Any thoughts on the Hobby Boss F18 in 1/48 scale? Do you mean as in the modern Rhino Hornet, as in the Superbug, like the E, F and G, or do you mean the A, B, C, D ones? So because obviously if you're looking at the older ones, there's probably the kinetic one's a bit nicer for a legacy Hornet. I think if you're going to go for detail and sort of accuracy and stuff like that, the kinetic A, B, C and D versions are obviously better than even, I've got it down there, I've got a classic Hasegawa one as well, so you could do that. But if you're doing anything modern, I think the Hobby Boss one is the way to go. I prefer it over the Meng one. So
there you go.
Yeah. What are you doing?
I'm just watering down some PVA.
Oh.
Just to fill in the gaps, as in the gaps here.
Mhm.
And then to sprinkle me soil in place. So again, yeah, it's just my dog's outside trying to get in the door. If you can hear.
You know what? For some reason, mine is lying on the floor next to me, which is really odd because she never does that.
I'll tell you what, our dog is really clingy at the minute. She has just turned 18 months and she's been an absolute pain in the arse. To put it politely. But yeah, she's outside. I'm normally, She does that if there's nobody else in.
Mm.
But actually, Leslie's back with Lydia, so I don't know why I'm copying it today. But
That's it, your favourite.
yeah, she wants to show me her antler, what's left of it.
She's still allowed one.
Yeah, even though she's wrecked the floor. Keeps dropping the thing, but yeah. No, she's fine. Can't complain. So yeah, I'm just going to water down a bit of PVA, and then what I'm going to do is put it in a pipette and drop it into the gaps and fill it with a bit of soil and then go over the top.
Nice.
But don't forget to bake your soil, folks.
Yes, otherwise you could have some microbacteria growing real moss.
Yes. Yeah. Again, there's other products you can use for this, but I'm being cheap and just using, like I say, watered down PVA. I've got it, so I'm going to use it. I need some more coffee stirrers. That's what I need. Let me get a clean.
Then you pop off to Costa and go and grab a handful.
Yeah. Or Mackie D's in it.
Mm.
So we'll shoot some up here, like so, and then just deposit some in this gap. This is where you need a sieve. So,
Right.
I'll tell you what, hold on. I'll tell you what. Use your fingers.
Pinch it in.
Pinch it all in. There we go. And it's as simple as that, and then just go through the gaps.
Yeah.
Fill it in. And try and actually keep it in the gaps, unlike me there. And then we'll just catch it when it comes.
Nice bit of grouting.
It is basically, yeah. I tell you what, you could actually use tile grout for this as well.
Yeah.
That is a good thing that a lot of the gamers and stuff use. You know, when they're doing it, like it's tile grout, because you can get different coloured tile grouts, can't you?
Yeah, yeah.
And that is another good thing to use. So.
Very nice.
Well, yeah.
Okay, so Stephen, if you're looking at the old ones, honestly, I would keep an eye on the Hasegawa ones, because the Hasegawa ones are around. And again, I think you can get obviously A's, A pluses, C's and D's as well with Kinetic. So for those point of view, if you're looking for the legacy ones, then Kinetic's one's quite nice. I've built it. I've also built, funny enough, quite a few of the Hasegawa kits. I quite like those ones. But I think the Kinetic one has got some of the later editions, like Hasegawa stopped on theirs in the early 90s. So anything that happened post that, with obviously some of the European ones as well, getting the upgrades, you're better off looking at the Kinetic ones for the old legacy Hornets. Adam says, you guys see the Dune models coming from Meng? Oh, they're doing that little dragonfly looking thing.
Oh, what, as in doing the film?
That's what I don't know. That's what I don't know. Adam, more info. What is it? Are we talking the film or what?
Probably is the film, I think.
Mm.
I've not seen the new Dune films, have you?
I have. Yeah, I've seen the latest. Well, the first one of the new ones. They're doing a second one, I think, isn't there? Another one coming out?
Yeah, I think so. Probably going to become another franchise, isn't it?
Anyway, my other half, she's at work till very late tonight, so I'm going to watch John Wick 4.
Oh,
It's
yeah.
on Prime.
It's on Prime, isn't it?
I did try to watch it the other night, but she was like not really interested. I can't think why.
I would say, you know what I watched this weekend is True Detective Series 1.
All right.
I've watched it before, but I watched it again. I just think it's a really, really good. Plumbing out. Whatever they was thinking when they did season 2 was, oh God, that was awful. Just didn't know what was going off. They were just, you couldn't understand the plot. I'll tell you what I'll do actually. But yeah, season 1, it's got if nobody's seen it, Woody Harrelson and Matthew McConaughey in it. Yeah. It's set in Louisiana, down south, and it's a bit dark. It's very good. It's really, really good. So yeah, it's knocking on a bit now, but it's about over 10-year-old that. Because there's a new one coming out with Jodie Foster, isn't there?
Yeah.
Set in Alaska, I think, if I remember rightly. So might give that a go.
Thank you, James. No problem at all.
Oh, what you done?
Got married.
Oh.
You just said belated congrats.
All right, fair enough. Fair enough.
So, yes. Very good. But yeah, apart from that news-wise, I don't think there's much else. It's all as it is. As I say, SMC looked very good last weekend.
Oh, it does. Good quality show, isn't it?
Yes.
So... Oh God, I am going to put that in there in a minute. I'm going to empty my soil and my glue. Not be a good look.
Yeah, apparently there's a thing called the Space Harvester as well. That looks great.
What is this from Dune?
Dune, yeah.
Oh, okay. That was
It's quite good if they've got a franchise to do that type of thing. Normally it's Mobius, isn't it? Used to always have it.
Yeah, yeah. So who's said doing it, Meng?
Meng, apparently, yeah. Which I must admit I wasn't aware of.
Okay.
Oh, hold on. Thank you, Guy. Guy's put the link up. Oh, no, he hasn't. Doesn't work. Oh, yes, it does. Crikey, that's a weird one. I've just been probably hacked or spammed or something. Oh, yeah, look. Hold on, I'll put it on the screen. Look.
Share the screen. Oh, yeah, it's that dragonfly thing, isn't it?
That's quite cool, that.
Yeah, it is actually. Different.
I wouldn't have thought Meng. Oh, yeah, look, and the harvester. That's the thing that gets dropped, isn't it? They have the connection points and they fly it around and drop it down. And then when the worm comes along, they lift it out of the way, or not.
I have no idea. I know it's got a worm in it, hasn't it? I know there's a worm in Dune, but that's from the original film.
Yeah, so they got the gunship version as well as the normal one. That's quite cool, that.
Gonna get one?
I might have to, actually, because I do like things like that as well. You know, that's right up my street, that is.
Yeah.
So, yeah. Very cool. I don't know if anyone saw it, but have anyone seen that video doing the rounds where they've attached a GoPro to I think it's a HIP MI16, and literally the camera's there and you can see the flex and all, obviously the rotor, because obviously it goes up and down different positions as it's going round. And it's incredible how it works, because I was just looking at the wings on that, how they vibrate, don't they, like a dragonfly, and the stresses and strains. But you just see something on a helicopter doing it, and they've slowed the footage down so you can see it just bouncing up and down, and the flex and it flapping and doing its bit. How they don't just rip themselves apart is beyond me.
Well,
Ripstop says, do we know when the Meng Apache is due for release?
Should be now. It should have been out. We should have had it last month.
Yeah.
And
the dates we were given was at the end of last month. So, yeah.
It's still not tipped up. So I don't know whether that's stuck in a container somewhere, which is probably the case. But yeah, it was scheduled, like I say, for end of September. So Duke, no.
It'll be one of those ones that will just appear, and you're like,
it'll be yeah. Probably by the end of this show, we'll probably have a look. It's like, oh look, it's in. I don't know.
One thing I did look at, what scale were these in? Has it not got a scale?
Don't need scale. Sci-fi.
Oh, I don't know how big the harvester is 100 millimeters wide, 10 centimeters by 6.5 centimeters tall, and 27 millimeters when assembled. Oh, it's not very big then. It's not like your cutting mat size.
Are you looking Razor Crest size from Bandai?
Yeah, it is. It's tiny, tiny. I thought it'd be a bit bigger than that, but I suppose you don't want it too big. Okay, so how much is the dragonfly, size of the dragonfly? So that's better. So the dragonfly, the gunship one, is 17 centimeters in length and 10 centimeters across. So it's still not massive, is it? It's 72nd scale. So they're not huge, teeny tiny little things. That's a shame. I was hoping sort of 1/35 would be nice. I bet you could get a 3D printed one somewhere.
I was going to say, just get a file.
Yeah, need a file on that one. Crazy Luke says, Phil, what is your overall impressions of Magic Factory? Seems like they're heading in a good direction. To be honest with you, they approached me and I just had an email come through. To be honest, I get quite a few, and sometimes I just don't even bother replying because, it's usually just idiots. But this is one of those ones that just sort of came through, and it was like, it sort of, my interest was piqued, because sometimes I get people come through and said, oh, we're doing this, doing that and the other, and trust me, the amount of them I've had over the years and you never see or hear from again, but this one did pique my interest. So I messaged them back and said, yeah, we'd love to work with you. Obviously, you have to understand that I just give fully impartial reviews. If it's good, you'll get it. If it's crap, you'll get it as well in equal doses. Anyway, they came back and said, yeah, we've got no problem with that. We'd love to send you over our first kit, which is the Iron Dome one. We'll get it out to you straight away because we're hopefully getting it to be released in the next few months. Anyway, lo and behold, it turned up and I was blown away by it and did the review, and then I messaged them straight back before it went public because it looked like somebody else's kit, if I'm honest. So I just wanted to clarify with them that it wasn't just a Reeboks or somebody else's engineering and tooling, and it was their work. And they came back and said, no, we are an independent company. We're not attached to any other said company, which I thought they were. But you have to understand the reason why it looks like that is our tooling company is the same as the other company, and that it's probably the same place that does injection molding. They're doing ours for us as well. But the design is all of our own. We're our own company, our own right. So I was like, oh, that's fantastic, and all the rest of it. So then I did some poking with them and like what's coming up and everything else. And obviously you heard about the Corsair. And they did say as soon as it was out and everything, they get one to me, and they have done everything. So as far as I'm concerned, it's quite nice to have a company that, makes the right noises and then follows through with it. Because a lot of them don't. That's a good shot.
Sorry, mate. Just trying to get in my drawer.
So, but yes, so it was really nice. I put Matt back on because it's quite interesting to see. It's going to be a lot more interesting watching me masking up. So yeah, I must admit, it was nice that they've reached out. They've followed in with their promises and their words and everything else like that. And I'd say these two turned up the blue literally beginning of the week. So that was nice as well. So yes, good on them. I wish them all the best. They seem to be hit the ground running, very much in the sort of way we said about Armour Hobbies. Came out of nowhere. Really good stuff and started going straight away. And these, there's a tiny little sync mark. I've seen the Corsair review, you'll know I mention it. But I can't say mine's not an early version, purely because mine was clearly a review sample that's done the rounds because everybody's had their hands on it by the looks of it, and then I've got it. So I'm not sure if mine's an early shot, if everyone's going to be like it, but I'm being so picky when I say a sync mark. It's literally a tiny, tiny little bit. And to be honest, you could call it stress skin and get away with it. So It is literally one of those. I'm just being very picky. So if I'm being picky to the point where I'm picking out, a tiniest sync mark ever that will probably disappear with primer, then they're doing right. They're doing good. David says chinchilla dust from the pet store.
Yeah.
Mikey, how many chinchillas do you have to rub to get dust to fill that?
No, actually, no. That's another.
But I know what you mean. They get the dust baths for them, don't they?
Yeah. To be honest with you, what you should actually do with this, and I haven't done it because I'm being stupid, is actually put some alcohol in it, IPA.
Oh, all right, okay.
It breaks the surface tension. Can you see how it's just now running all down the side of my base? Because it's just sitting on the top. I need to break the surface tension. And I'll tell you what I've got, which I should have done before I've done this. My IPA bottle.
Oh, you've got it. Is that for doing your 3D printing normally?
No, it's for cleaning my glasses.
Oh, right. Spritzing.
So there we go. So that now should have broke the surface tension so I can actually drop some white glue on it. There you go. Look at that. That's better. Surface tension. What a pain in the backside it is. Thingy does it as well, but I wouldn't recommend it on foam lacquer thinners.
Mm.
I tell you what, making dioramas is chuffing messy.
Yes.
After cleaning up for a week. So.
Oh, look. So the guys up in the forum have chucked up in the chat the special tour of the Taken factory.
All right.
In China.
When's that?
Which I can't show it because I'll get copyrighted probably. But,
what? There's a video up, is there?
There's a video, yeah.
I will see, okay. We never get invited for factory tours, do we?
No. It's because we're not good enough.
No.
We need to have about 8 billion subscribers for that.
Mm.
Well, it does look a bit like a sweatshop, I'll be honest with you. If you literally go on, don't do it now, clearly, because you want to stay and watch us, but literally go onto YouTube and put Takem models. I think it's supposed to be factory and production, but they've actually spelt it FACTPRY. Factory and production. Christ, they're worse than me. So, anyway, it does look like a sweatshop. You know, you have that vision of what Nike trainers and how they're made.
Yeah.
It's a little like that.
Okay.
To be honest, it's not what I expected either, because I've seen pictures from the other one. I just put up a quick sneak peek. Look. We all sit here in the heat, being forced to do this for £1.80 a week.
You can't say that.
Probably true.
Right. Well,
yeah, put it this way, it's not as high tech and that as we've seen other places that we have been round in the past. So, interesting.
What you expect, isn't it, really? Made a right mess here. I've made a proper mess.
Well, it's nice. We can see it live, how it's all going.
But how messy it actually is when you're doing these things.
Mm.
Yeah, no, it is a little bit, but worth it in the end. So I'm going to let that dry off a bit.
Mm-hmm.
This is where you need like summer days, isn't it?
Yeah, just to get out in the sun. That's the trouble.
Set it out and bake it for an hour or two, and then you're okay. So I'll tell you what I am going to do then, while that's wet in there. Sprinkle a bit more. And if you've got a tea strainer, that's also another good.
Christ, does anybody still have a tea strainer?
You can get them. You know them really posh ones?
Yeah. What, silver, hallmarked?
Yeah, them. The ones with the two, you've got a lid.
Yeah, I know. It clamps it shut. Yeah, with the proper tea leaves in it, and you
proper,
put it in your pot.
For proper tea connoisseurs.
Yes. Hey, it's bad enough when we had Kareen and Avid over, wasn't it? Because obviously they thought that our tea bags were coffee pouches.
Yeah.
Because, different over there, isn't it? Because their tea has strings. That's how they were saying. All their tea bags have a string. Well, ours don't.
Look, you remember the
string ones?
The
only time you get them is in the hotel, isn't it? We're on a string.
Yeah. Let that dry off. Let that dry off and then I'll clean it up.
Oh. Okay, David says... Hold on, before it jumps around. Hold on, let me just find David. David says, hi Phil, how do you display an aircraft in flight using a metal rod underneath the body of the plane? I'm wondering how to get the strength where the rod meets the model. Cheers. So we've done various bits on this. So what I tend to do is when you're into this section underneath here, if it's a flat normal bottom plate, I reinforce it. So we'll just get laminated like 1mm plastic card, build up a chunk, so that way you can drill into it and you don't have it. So, oh god, here we go, diagrams again, but it doesn't wobble, so it doesn't just go through the and it's slack Alice and all around it. So consequently, if you put in reinforcing above it, and you could use, and I've done it in the past, if you've got some old larger casting blocks from resin, they're great for it as well, because you can just super glue them in and then drill up into it, and it gives you a solid thing to put them on. If you're doing it where it's like two fuselage halves and coming together, you can do something similar to it and just build it up on both sides. The other way, of course, is to literally flood it with resin, literally get a two-part epoxies, do it as well, so you make a little bridge for it, and if you can get in from the top once it's together, is then pour it right the way through. On something like this, for instance, obviously you're a bit limited on some of them, but because you've got a bomb bay in here, you probably want to put the one in the rear down in here, so you would have to think about it, but obviously you've got no space behind it because of the floor, so you're not going to have much wiggle room down in there, so you might have to take it a little bit further to the rear again, and have it coming down the back. But again, you need, sometimes with aircraft, it's finding what's a suitable place to actually put it. So, but if you've got two fuselage halves like this, what I would do is just build up both sides so they're both solid, and again, the ways to do that is to literally plasticard both sides, make a, so you've got it on its side. I haven't got a fuselage half here. Lola, find me a fuselage half to go and show, seeing you're sat right here, which is really weird. So yeah, I'm sure I had something to show. I haven't really got anything to show it, if that makes sense. But yeah, so literally it would be that thing of make up plasticard each side of it. So you've got your fuselage on its half, squirt it full of like a 5-minute epoxy, let it go, scrape off so it's flat. All right, let that go hard over a couple of days, not just 5 minutes, give it a couple of days. Same on the other side. And then when they come together, you've got it there. A little bit more 5-minute epoxy when you do it together and glue it all up. Then once in there, drill into it and do it that way. The other way, of course, you could do it is to pre-do it, so you can get a metal rod that's a tube and then cut it down so one rod slides inside the other, and you can put that in and then glue that all in place. But I know some people, they'll use like what's it called, two-part putties, and like knead them together and then use that as an anchor and literally put a metal rod inside it, and then you've got a smaller rod that goes in. Most of the rods are interchangeable. I've got some around here somewhere that all do it. It's like literally like a car aerial, it comes out, and you can do it that way as well. But a lot of it is finding some way of doing it. To be honest, this will be a nightmare because we've got a bomb bay in here, and then the area where I would traditionally have it, which would be here, and then just have it as an in-flight if you were doing it here, if you want to do something quite jaunty with it, you can't, because the cockpit floor is going to be seen by the gunner, so you're going to have to go past that. So you're actually going to have to pull it up a lot to the rear. And then you don't really just want a pole looking upright, because I think those look awful. So what I would do is literally have maybe you could flatten it off. So if you've got a tube, flatten it off, and then so it tapers round, and then bend it. And then that way, because it's flat, you could actually screw it to the bottom.
Hey, you need to do that so it's doing a dive.
I know, that's what I was saying. I don't know quite how you do it on this one, but yeah, you'd want that in a dive, really. You need it sort of like that.
To be honest with you, somebody, if you want an example, is actually building the 30-second one of them, and he's doing that. He's putting it in a dive.
All right,
it's actually quite effective at how it looks. I think it is just a straight pole, and then the aircraft's...
Yeah. Because you could do it literally just coming down and have a pole coming down and off. I think what would look nicer is to, if you had, even if it's done in metal, and literally in silver even, have it coming off the rear and then curving and then coming down, so you look like it's part of it.
It's a thing. Yeah, it's one of the works in progress. So again, if you want to have a look, it might give you an idea. But yeah, for a dive bomber, it actually looks quite. It's quite cool, to be honest.
But obviously, when I did the giant VC-10, because that thing's huge and it's a absolute nightmare. So on there, it's two fuselage halves come together again. So actually, I cheated because I was acutely aware that the plastic's rubbish. And it'll crack at any moment. I reinforced it on the inside, but it was never enough. So actually, I did the decision, and I actually just made quite nice. In fact, I can show you. Let me get it. It's only hanging on a wire. Literally, it's hanging on a wire. Get the wire off. Here it is. So some of them, like this little lump, there's a stand for it, and it sits on here, and it will sit literally like this. So what I ended up doing is, where are we? On here. So under here, I put in a reinforcement plate, purely because it doesn't detract from the aircraft, because you can't really see it, once it's in. But I've got a large which is somewhere else. I didn't know where it is now, to be honest, because it hangs on the wall now. So because this plastic is not proper plastic, it's halfway between resin and all the rest of it, that we put this in. So it's a slot, and it actually covers front to back that entire section. It's that big, and then there is a little. It's quite wide as well. So that way it just reinforces this entire area. It's only because this thing is literally an accident waiting to happen. So the plastic is pretty gnarly on this one. So yes, and if you're wondering how I hang it up, this has actually got some brass wire, and I wire it, and it hangs up like that on my other wall, purely because my guitar hangers can't reach the tail, and I don't want them around here at the engine, purely because we chrome these with aluminium foil, which... Full video build on this. If you want to see me cut the front end off, you might remember we completely reshaped the entire front end. Wasn't that fun, children?
You need
one of the worst kits I've ever built.
Hey,
just saying.
I've got a better challenge next year.
Oh Jesus! Do I have to build one of these every year? Like a
no. You like the subject? It's a challenging kit.
Oh.
I thought we could do something together.
Okay. I like doing them when we do the side-by-side builds.
Yeah, different subjects, but same manufacturer. So I'll leave that with you. But it's a subject. It's a subject you like, so I think you'd be.
Oh, that's all right. If it's a more of a one you can get your teeth into, it's not so bad.
Yeah, it's definitely something you would. You would be interested in, as in a subject. It's not just something I've chucked at you as usual and go.
Yes.
So yes, but we'll have to discuss it off camera, and then perhaps we can announce it if you're up for the challenge.
Yes.
And it is a challenge, to be honest.
Oh God.
But it's
I
not
don't mind them.
Hey, it's not a vac form, so you can rest easy on that. It's not a vac form; it is an injection.
Fair enough. What's wrong with you? Do you want to get down a minute?
She's early, like
she's very early. Jesus, no, it's 4:15. I get fed till gone 5.
She's saying it's getting dark. It must be.
Yeah, that's probably what it is. It must be time for tea. Nowadays, normally she waits at the door for me, and as soon as I say right and bye, she literally runs to the kitchen now. She's like, tea time, let's go.
Oh dear.
So yes,
they know, don't they? I don't know how they know. They just know.
Definitely.
Ours is the same when it comes to feeding. She's there pouring at you. Patting you. Yes.
Yeah, that's it. Butter wouldn't melt. Puppy eyes, isn't it?
Feed me. So, yes.
Right. Okay, what else we got? Senior moment. Oh, no. Okay, so it's James. James says, have you finished the Britannia yet, Matt? You never started it, did you?
Britannia?
Didn't that get binned off?
I've still got it.
Right.
No, I think I cut it off the sprue.
Is that as far as you got?
And I did a bit of clean up, as in I think I had a bucket with some 800 wet and dry, and I was
800, more like 36 grit.
Yeah, or 600, whatever it was anyway, to proper wet flat it back, and then kind of. So I tell you why it stalled. One, not because it's a Mac 2 kit. I heard somebody was going to bring out some upgrades for it, as in I think some undercarriage legs and propellers. I don't think it ever materialised. So to be honest, it never got any further than that. I think I built the cockpit actually as well. That was it, because I was in my shed, weren't I? So at the time when I started that, so yes.
It's all right. James hasn't done any more with his. His is in a cupboard full of dust as well. Yeah,
it's one of them. It looked cool done. It's just doing it, isn't it? I've still got an Argosy as well. I've still got an Argosy, and it is. Like I said, I'm really being vicious with my stash. Really vicious. So a lot of stuff's going up for sale, and I'm just going to really try and concentrate on what I want to do. But a lot of the stuff I want to do is quite in-depth projects. They're not straightforward projects. Do you know what I mean? So, but I think they're interesting subjects. You know. So yes. I'd say if you do want anything, I say it's up on eBay. Well, not my eBay, wife's eBay. So.
Good afternoon, Ben. He's in Florida.
Oh, just sorry. I'll tell you what we've not done today.
What?
PM.
That's all right. Hold on.
Thing.
I'm there. Right, let me just read these
yeah,
out
carry
and
on.
pop
Sorry,
over.
yeah.
So Alistair says, Phil, will you be doing a review on the mini art for P47 when it comes out? Yes, absolutely. Of course I will, because I'm really looking forward to that one. That looks to be a mega kit. I'm really looking forward to seeing it, that one, and then going, do you know what? That's a lovely kit, that one. Because when the other one comes out with all the detail, I'll be, dodging that.
Yeah.
I'd rather do a Mac 2 kit.
At least they're giving you the option.
At least they're bringing out the normal one first. I thought they'd bring out the fully detailed one first, if I'm honest. Then the other one would come out afterwards. No. So I'm more than happy that the bare bones metal one's coming out first.
It's going to be
the normal kit.
It's going to be interesting to see how mini art tackle that. Like I say, it does look nice in CAD, but in CAD and in real life are two different things. So
it's going to be like that sea flanker, isn't it? It's going to look absolutely fantastic and brilliant, but it's bloody hard work, and nobody can be bothered to go that far.
To be honest with you, obviously that's mini art. Me gyrocopter, and that was brilliant. To be honest with you, the mini art kits I've built, and I've not gone for the interior stuff because it's a bit too complicated, has been fine. And that's like the Grant tank, which to be fair got smashed, and I managed to rebuild it, and it still looks all right. The little freewheeler, which is a bit fiddler, but it goes together. The gyrocopter as well. There's loads of other stuff. I don't know. Yeah, it'll be interesting to see how they tackle an aircraft, proper aircraft, obviously not a helicopter type thing. But, yeah, I think, and I don't know this, but you know this border model sort of 35th progression that they're doing. So they've done a couple of Japanese, and they've done 3 German planes. They're doing a Spitfire Mark 5 in it.
Yes.
Some at US, I reckon, next. It's going to be a Mustang or a P47.
It's going to be a Mustang, yeah.
That's what I'd say, P51.
I was thinking it's going to be a P51 or it's going to be a P40 or a 47.
In 35th.
Yeah.
Now, that'd get me a bit excited. I do have to say, for P40 in 35th would be a welcome thing.
Yes.
So, yeah.
Right, I'll just do these couple of questions and we'll pop over to the site. So, Crazy Loach says, thanks, Phil. I was wondering if the Iron Dome was going to be a one-off, like you said. I saw the Corsair review and glad a new manufacturer with decent people are running it. Seems to be, yeah. I must admit, as I say, sometimes I'm contacted by certain companies and they say, oh, we're doing this, this, and this, and this. Really excited. We want to get you on board and all the rest of it. And I'm going like, yeah, no, it's great. Send me full details. Never hear another thing. And it never comes to fruition because something falls, money normally and all the rest of it, but something doesn't happen, So, yes. But, no, they do. And I must admit, now they're on a roll because obviously these have basically come out together.
Yes.
So, they've said about this Skyhawk as well. And I did see the CAD stuff of it a while back and it really looks very nice as well. So, is it a million miles better than the old Hasegawa and the Hobby Boss one? No, but it's definitely an improvement. So, but again, it's nice little steps with these things. Bradley Jones says, what effect is Matt trying to get? He's basically grouting.
I'm pretty much grouting. It looks a mess. Don't worry, I've got to paint it all and obviously get rid of all this mess around the sides. But yes, I'm basically just grouting in between the slabs. And
basically
fill it all in. And yeah. I'd say just take no notice of the actual colours at the minute because they're all going to be harmonised when it's all dried off and whatever. They'll get a wet coat of brown primer all over and then I'll paint everything anyway. So this is just to get some texture and...
I can vouch for this. I know only of you guys seen it, but me and Matt recorded a series of videos that we will release one day. They've been sat on the server.
Christmas special.
Yeah, Christmas special, we might do them. But we did spend 2 days doing the diorama that I did with Matt. And it's funny because having no idea about them either, you see in it and you're thinking, how's that going to work? But what you realise, or quickly realise, is that what you see there is not what you're going to get. That's just the layers of the foundations for it. All the painting and the colour and the detail is going to go on top of it. Because I thought originally when we were doing various bits on there, it's even like the grass, your static grass, that's not the colour you're going to have. Doesn't matter what colour it is, it's the effect of it because you're going to repaint it all. So, and that was a thing where it was a bit of a light bulb moment for me, is suddenly thinking, get it now, yeah.
Yeah, well, that's it. It's a process. It's that famous word of texture and building your textures up. So, and that's all I'm doing. Because obviously as well, if you look at just normal slabs, concrete slabs, they're never pristine. So hence the cracks and the bits of dirt. You can always rub this down, give it a quick flat off or whatever with a pad, But actually, the texture is going to add to it because it's going to have moss in between them and bits of grass, and there's going to be some grass over this corner with a tree. Obviously, the steps will want painting as well. So yeah, it's just getting it in. So it always looks bad before it gets better.
It gets better, yeah, definitely.
It's just a messy process, but again, grouting might have been a better way to do it. Actually, a proper tile grout, but I do like the soil bit because you get different sort of grains of soil. You know, unless you're really going to put it through the pestle and mortar type thing and crush it or whatever. This is, like I say, this is just out my garden and baked in the oven for 20 minutes, and there's all different sorts of, like I say, bigger bits and smaller bits, but it's quite natural. Do you know what I mean? So, yes,
definitely.
Yes.
Question: making my own filters and Abteilung oils, reds, blues, and greens seem to lay down fine over my olive drab tank. But everything close to yellow or orange is chalky. What gives? Thank you. Ooh.
So what's that? Say that again. Sorry.
He's basically saying he makes his own filters with Abteilung oils.
Yeah.
So very thin washes and
yeah.
So he's basically saying that reds, blues, and greens lay down fine over the olive drab tank, but when he chooses, anything that's close to yellow or orange is chalky.
Okay, what thinners are you using? Are you using a decent thinner? Are you unloading your brush so it's just literally moist and not flooding it on? Because that's another thing. There's a big difference between a wash and a filter.
Yeah.
I don't know you, so I'm not telling you how to suck eggs if you know what the difference is. But you know, you need to control a filter, as in a flat brush normally. So say one of them, and unload it. So there's not a lot in it, because all you're doing is putting a hue on of a tint of a colour.
Yeah.
That's all a filter is. It's not a wash. So it's a bit, perhaps I need a bit more info, like say, as in what thinners are you using and what sort of, what you're using to apply it with and how heavy it's going on. But chalky, odd that, chalky.
I must admit, chalky. The chalky bit I don't quite get. The only thing I can imagine is perhaps it's laying too thick. And as it's drying out, it's giving that effect. But that's probably, you're treating it more as a wash than a filter. Because I say filters, it's just a thinnest thin of it, isn't it? It's
a tint. It's literally a tint.
It's not a wash. A wash is something completely different. Yeah.
Yeah. It's dirty. The best way to describe it is dirty thinners.
Yeah.
I can't, because a wash is a bit thicker because you want that to actually flow around details.
Yeah, that's it.
And see it. Like I say, a filter is just a hue. It's yeah.
Because if you see me, when I do my filtering, if you like, I do it dry almost. So and you're just putting the dots literally everywhere, and then obviously, so if you're putting it over, like I haven't done olive drab, but I've done like RAF greens and stuff like that a lot. So if I'm using it around on aircraft, and then obviously you're going in with the yellow, and then you're blending that through, so it's just changes it a little bit. It's a tiny little bit. You don't want to be flooding it on, because I know some other people, they do it and literally make it really wet and go through with it, but I find I have no control over it. It's too wet. It just goes everywhere.
It just merges into one mess.
Yeah, that's it. So I prefer to do it dry for doing that type of work anyway. So if you have a look at any of my stuff that I've done with that one, you'll see
the other thing as well is what are you actually trying to achieve with your filters? That's the other question I'd ask is where you're trying to go, obviously, with your project and which direction you want to take it. So,
definitely.
Yeah.
The Shouty Shepherd says, I use brass tube inserted into evergreen square poly tube embedded into the fuselage, always banking the display without overcooking it. That'll work, yeah. Round hole into a square peg. That'll work, so it'll grip it.
Yeah.
So, that's quite a smart way of doing it. So, yes, good job. Right, let me just pop down in these. Hold on. Where are we? Labrador's always hungry. There you go. You've obviously got one as well. Chalky look, maybe thinning from tap water. Would that work with our oils? Because it just go there, wouldn't it, with water?
Separate one thing.
Yeah, I would have thought, but there you go. So anyway, he's come back. So now I'm scrolling down till we do it. He said, he's been using hardware store mineral spirits.
There you go.
I believe that I'm mixing the filters properly. Reds and greens. Yeah, that's what it is. Honestly, pop down your art store, or you say there is other ones available, but you want low odor. Anything that says low odor has been heavily refined.
Yeah.
In a nutshell. So when we say refined, it's that thing about rough cut, as in hardware store thinners, is a completely different animal to this stuff. The reason this stuff doesn't smell is because it's highly, highly refined. And honestly, you fell into the trap that I did, because when I first got into using oils, I used B&Q's finest, bit of enamel thinners,
you think
and
white
I used, to be
spirit?
honest,
a bit of white
cheap
spirit,
oils. Yeah, it's what it was.
It's not.
And it's gritty. It was gritty. It was gnarly. You had big tide marks. I could never get anything smooth. It looked horrible. And then as soon as I changed over to be honest, Abtai lungs, because Matt gave me a load, and I used a decent thinners. Tamiya's X20, if you got it, that's brilliant for it as well. But any low odor thinners, and it was like night and day. It was literally like suddenly giving me 2 brand new products. Because all of a sudden I could mix it up and it was just smooth, it was fine. When it dried, it would just dry nice. You could blend with it, you could do all these different things with it. But the rough cut stuff, the hardware store thinners, it was awful.
It's meant for cleaning brushes.
Well, yeah, that's
when you've been glossing. Yeah. Let's be honest, that's what it's there for. It's so harsh. It's again like we think with the thinners, like the lacquer thinner conversation that we have. Like you can go and buy 25 litres of lacquer thinners, but your industrial strength lacquer thinners, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
And then obviously you've got your modelling products, which yes, they're not cheap, but they are refined to the point of them to be meant to be used with said product you're using.
Products. Yeah.
So the only one I would ever recommend to use, as in if you're going to a store to buy it, is the base coat 2K base coat thinner. Which again is a lacquer thinner, but it's a very refined one, because that's for like metallics and your pearls and your fancy paints, because you're just laying that before you put a clear coat over the top. So that it's a bit slower drying, it's got a bit of retarder in it, and it's a lot more of a refined thinner, and that's the only one I will recommend. Everything else I would avoid, because it's just too vicious. It's too harsh for the hobby. And again, it's same with like DIY store white spirit is. Yeah, it's for industrial use at the end of the day.
Yes,
not
it is. Use. So David says X20 works for Abtai lung, ? Yes, I use it all the time, to be honest. I'm almost out of it, but I use this one as well.
Let's get this straight. This is X20, not X20A.
Yeah, this isn't the alcohol one.
No, this is for their enamel range of paints. This is the
enamel one, so it's the blue top.
Yes.
So that's the way I was doing it.
Top, Phil. Because we can't get it. So before you're asking anybody guys in the UK, we don't get it over here. But I presume you can get it in the US and other places around the world, but we don't have it over here. So you'd have to buy that.
As you can see, I'm literally down to a dribble in the bottom because we can't get it.
Hold on while we're here. So I use this normally, which is the AK odorless, but we've also got the Abteil lung one somewhere. I think they do a few. Oh no, that's gravel and sand fixer. There's a few that the Abteil lung do as well, which are obviously designed for their paint. But again, this is an odorless thinner. What you got, Dowley and Rowler, is it, or whatever you call Windsor and Newton one. And these are artist grade, basically artist grade thinners, and that's what you'll know the difference. You will see the difference if you start using.
But also the big thing is the sniff test, because these have got hardly any smell to them because they're highly refined. But yeah, James, this is the old De Laroni one.
Yeah, that's the stuff.
So good stuff. But as you say, it's one of those things. Sometimes you're thinking, it just doesn't work and everything else, and it may be just something as simple as that. Yes, you got the thinners. And it's the right type of thinners. It's just not the right grade of thinners, because obviously you want it to be a lot more. And I fell into that one because years ago I tried oils and they were just horrible gritty messes, and I'd like stuff this. I can't be asked. And then obviously light bulb moment. Matt's like, "Well, what thinners are you using?" I'm using B&Q's finest.
Hey, I've done it. I've been tight arse and go to B&Q and get some B&Q white spirit. Oh, this will be fine. You're like, yeah, that's not great, and it stinks. Again, I I don't know, we have a lot of conversations about paint and the correct thinners and stuff. You wouldn't believe the difference it actually makes.
Yeah, it is.
And you trying to like
huge...
save a couple of pennies, normally bites you on the backside, you know, later on. When you really, if you just use the right thinners with the right paint, or like I say, a good quality product. And to be honest with this as well, you think, well, what's this 100 ml in it? I don't know what it is now, but it's not cheap. You're thinking, God, well, that's expensive. What it is, you don't need a lot of it. With oil paints, a little goes a hell of a long way.
Yes.
So
it is. It's like we said before, oils is one of those things that everyone's like, oh, they're expensive. No, they're not. Because, again, a bottle of that will last you forever. How about this now, literally, which I'm literally just working my way through, probably about 5 years.
Yeah.
So, you know, and it was like £7 or whatever it was when we used to be able to get them. So in some ways, it's gone well. And the oils, as I said before, I've gone through my first shadow, ABT 005.
How old's that?
And I've had that forever, literally. And I've gone through my first one, and they're like, what, £3.50 each or something?
£3.50 or something.
They're nothing, absolutely nothing. And it's one of those products that you'll use continuously all the time, just little details, bits and pieces, making up washes, using them neat, whatever you want to do. And you get people saying, oh, it's a lot of money. No, it's not. You know, not compared to some things in the hobby. It's cheap, you know.
I think the worst thing with oils, and that, but I have this with any paint, is you're always going to get wastage. However much you try to be, you've got to factor in a bit of wastage. So the less wastage you can use, like say the cardboard trick's always a good one, but try not to. Even if you just get out with a cocktail stick and pop a blob on, that little blob will go a hell of a long way. It goes for squirt of blob on, and you end up chucking more away because it dries out or whatever. But if you can be a bit frugal with it, can't you? If you're a bit careful getting it out of the tube, then it'll last. God knows, it'll last forever. I wouldn't like to even estimate probably how many models you could weather with, say 4 tubes of oil paint. Yeah. You know, if you're doing aircraft or whatever. I don't know. I wouldn't even. I wouldn't even want to estimate.
I was going to say, you're probably looking at realistically maybe like 100. I would have thought easily.
I would.
Because the thing is, my shadow, the reason I've gone through it a lot, I do a lot of big stuff as well that I don't do on this, so a lot of sci-fi stuff, for instance. And like the shadow one, literally, if I'm doing a bloody great starship or something, or like a film prop and those types of things, like the guns and that, I will literally just do some shadow, bit of a squirt, make it up to quite a batch of it, and it's a wash right the way over the entire thing. And I put it on with like a 3-inch brush. You know, and slap it around it, and that's why I go through it. But if you were using it just for doing aircraft and things like that, and you know, your standard 48 scale aircraft, you're easily going to do maybe 100, 200 out of a tube. It goes that far. I mean, it's the gift that keeps giving.
I was going to say, if you've watched us do live stuff, you've seen us use oil pallets and how far it goes.
And you must admit as well, on an oil pallet, we're all guilty of it. You put the tiniest amount, but you always throw it away. Because you'll never use it all. So it literally does go that way. So yes. Right, okay, let's pop over to the PM store before we go.
Yeah. Quick scoot round. So what we've got in is the special offers section. There's
hold on, let me go to
specials. The Ferret 8. I've seen there's new decals coming out for Ferret. So right, Liberators.
I've got a dodgy photo. There it is. Sorry, it's arrived.
Yeah, there you go. So we've got the 32nd Thunderbolt Razorback from Trumping. Obviously, the lightning. We ain't got many lightnings left, I have to say, of those. So I'd grab them. Desert Storm's new up, obviously, nice little E3. The Corsair from Tamiya, which is a great kit. Yeah. The Aardvark as well was new up. So there's a few new bits. So if you want F111, you've got 2 choices here. You've got a 72nd one or a 48th one. The 72nd one for anybody is the Asagawa kit. It's a really, really nice kit. So I don't know what else is up there. What else did we put up? Anything else?
We've got the Hawk. Got the Hawk. As I say, you've got the Gaz truck. Oh, it's a Zill. Sorry, wrong one. Zill truck.
Zill and the ICM T34. Vindicator's up there. Seafire. Obviously the Bedford truck as well. Even though I can't say Bedford or Austin or whatever.
Or whatever it is. Austin, isn't it? Yeah, you can't say that. It's just a 30-ton truck.
But what I did want to mention is we've had a restock of Tamiya paint, as in LPs and XFs. So most of them are in stock, and also the extra thin blues are back in.
Nice.
So pretty much.
And we've even got black and white.
All of them, yeah. We've got the clear coats back in
restock.
as well. So LP24 is back in. XF86 is back in as well, which I think we've been out of. So yeah, there's not overly many. I think a few of perhaps of the blacks on the XF range. But yes, we've got decent stocks coming back in. Thankfully, there you go. X28 Park Green.
Yeah, that's popular.
Popular, obviously popular.
It is.
And also masking tapes are back in, so refills are back in, and normal 40 mils back in. So yes, so actually,
Look, you're saying you're out. You're actually all right on blacks because you got 85 and you got 5. So
69, I think was
18 is the one, isn't it?
Yeah.
So.
But yeah, no, we've
yeah,
had quite a big restock, like I say. So keep you stocked up. That's all good.
Yes. Definitely.
And again, like I say, extra thins in and extra thin quick sets back in as well, which we didn't get for a while. So there you go.
So if you want to get all your glues and fillers and things and that, they're all back in again. So that's quite nice.
That tomorrow.
Yeah. Very, very nice indeed. So yes. Good job. Right. Okie dokie then, guys. We will leave it right there. Thank you very much for joining us this afternoon. Pleasure as always. It's lovely to have your company. As Matt says, we'll be back with you tomorrow as well. So we've got the show. So we'll be back on with PM with Andy as well. So we'll obviously the latest news from PM Store, things like that. We've got a member show on Thursday night. So that's members only for that one. So we'll be up on there on then. And I'll be back with you hopefully with the next part of the actual well, it will be the next part. We'll be up with you on the Viking for the members. Also probably up, I don't know if it'll be tomorrow or it might be up on Thursday, will be the giant not that lovely, but definitely the giant F-35B from Trumpeter. So that one will be up with you as well on there. And so we've got a couple of other things. I've got a nice classic review coming up, review of the Hasegawa Showtime 100. So we've got lots of other bits. But yeah, don't forget, you can go off to the site. You can see both of those now. And obviously they'll make their way up onto social media over the next couple of days as well. So yes. Good job. Right.
And when it's edited, I'll have a vlog up as well. So
yes, that's it. So yes.
Packed week.
We've got full on. Yeah, you don't get us for a week and now you can't get rid of us. We're on all the time, all over the place as well. Yeah. So yes, good job with that one. Right, well, clearly Lola's starving and needs her food, so she's not left me side all afternoon, so we'll sort her out. So in the meantime, happy modelling, take care. We'll see you all again soon. Bye.
Bye.